Now we finish the imperfect conjugation. After the imperfect conjugation, you have the gerundive form. Now we are going to start the comparative comparison. Comparison, you have three degrees of comparison: superiority, inferiority, equality. You can use these form as you have to compare in this structure to compare anything. Plus, aussi, moins, que plus adjective. Then comes the adjectives. Plus, plus, aussi, moins, adjective plus que. Comparison. First, we will see the superiority. Comparative, comparing two things. Plus, aussi, moins, represented by the symbols plus, equal, minus. Then comes the adjectives plus que. Then complement. First subject will come. You have to use the degrees of comparison. You have to use the adjective que. Last, you have to use the complement. Now I give the example for the superiority using this symbol plus. Hardy est plus grand que Laurel. Subject, HR verb, you are using the degrees of comparison plus, then comes the adjective grand, then que plus complement Laurel. Hardy is plus grand means more bigger, more taller, so more taller. Hardy is taller than Laurel. Next, you have to use the equality. Les filles sont aussi intelligentes que les garçons. The girls are as intelligent as boys. You can also say it, girls are as smart as boys. Here, you have to note one more point. While using the adjectives, the adjectives should agree with the subject it is describing. So here, hardy is masculine, so adjective is in masculine form. Here, adjective intelligent, intelligent. Now the subject what you are describing is girls, femina. So add adjective, add es to the adjective intelligent. The adjective should agree with the subject. Like how you do the participle passive will agree with the subject while auxiliary verb is yet. Like similar, adjectives should agree with the subject. Adjectives as masculine, feminine, singular, plural forms. We have to do the changes. Last, inferiority using the symbol minus asterisk a more gros que obliques. Asterisk is more means less big. Less big means smaller. Asterisk is smaller than obliques. We are doing the comparison for the two nouns. Example, these examples are all taken from your textbook. Look at these examples, all are taken from your textbook. That only I am explaining now. Another example, Monisha est plus gentille que Morgan. Monisha is more kind, nice. Gentile means kind, nice. So nicer than Morgan. Plus gentile, more nicer. That means nicer. Monisha is more nice than Morgan. That is, Monisha is nicer than Morgan. Example, here look whom you are describing, Monisha, feminine. So adjective, add le to the adjective. You have to change the adjective gentile into the feminine form. Adjective should agree with the subject. Pay attention to the agreement of the adjectives. The adjective should agree with the subject. Here, intelligent, and another example, gentil. And one more example, ta voiture est moins bruyante que mienne. You are describing the car. Your car is less noisy than mine. Lamian means than mine. You are describing the car, it is femina. Look at here, TA is the adjective possessive, so voiture is femina. So add e to the adjective. The adjective agrees with the subject. Your car is less noisy than mine. Comparative examples. We have to do the comparison with the three forms, plus, 3 degrees of comparison, plus, aussi, moins, and represented by the symbols plus, equal, minus. Then comes the adjective, then que, plus complement. While doing this, using this comparison, or doing this comparison, the adjective should agree with the subject. These things you have to note it down in comparative. Now we'll go to the next part. Then page number 16, expression of concession. Last first lesson you have seen expression of cause, that means reason. Now we are going to see the expression of concession. What are the expression of concession? To, for, pour, may. What is the meaning of this? To, for, however, although, though, pourtant, however, though, may, but. Three expressions of concession is given. Examples: to, for, on était plus sociable à l'époque. However, we were more sociable at the period. Second, il pleuvait à verse, pourtant mon fils est sorti. It was pouring rain, yet my son went out. Third example, sa fille a un examen demain, mais elle joue avec ses amis dans le rue. His daughter has an exam tomorrow, but she plays with her friends in the street. Where you have to use this concession, if anything, any action is going on, even though you want to continue with some adjustment, you have to use this concession of expressions. However, although, but. Even if after the expression of concession, you have the verb pronominal au passé composé. Now you already know the verb conjugation, present tense, past tense. Now pronominal verb conjugations, how to do it in past tense. What are the pronominal verbs? The pronominal verbs, we can verb pronominal means pronominal verbs or reflexive verbs. The actions that the subject is performing upon itself, not on something else. Not on something else. The subject is performing the action upon itself. These verbs require a reflexive pronoun when they indicate that the subject is doing something to itself. Normally you have seen the verb, then conjugation of the verb, present tense, past tense. Pronominal verbs needs a reflexive pronoun to do that action. If we doing to self, what is the reflexive pronoun? SC apostrophe. The reflexive pronoun SC apostrophe will agree with the subject. So for each person, the conjugation will change. The pronoun conjugation will change for each person. SC apostrophe becomes M apostrophe for first person, TET apostrophe for second person, S apostrophe for third person, ill and L, new for no first person plural conjugation, no, woo for woo conjugation, S apostrophe for last person, ill and L. If the verb starts with vowel, me becomes M apostrophe, T becomes T apostrophe, SC becomes S apostrophe. Otherwise, you can, if the verb doesn't start with a vowel, you can use this METESC. Now we will see the example for how to do that conjugation. Here they are given three examples. Now we will see the first example. Se laver, se promener, se lever. Here we see the first example, se laver. SC is the pronoun, reflexive pronoun. Laver, LAVER is the verb. Meaning of this verb, laver, to wash. Now how to do the conjugation of the pronominal verbs in past tense? Now first to write the subject, je, then the reflexive pronoun SC becomes ME for the first person. I have written the conjugation. How the pronoun will changes for the different persons. For first person, SC becomes ME, M apostrophe. So that SC becomes ME for the first person. For the past tense, what is the structure of the past tense of any verb? First subject is there, then you have to write the auxiliary verb. For all the pronominal verbs, auxiliary verb is ether, so you have to use the ether verb conjugation in the place of auxiliary verb, SUIS. Then comes the participe passé. ER verb, how to make the participle? Replace ER by E action. Je me suis lavé. I washed myself. I bathed. In a both are correct. I washed myself. I bathed. Wash to bath. Both are correct. Second conjugate, second person, to you. the pronoun sc becomes t apostrophe. Then you have to use the auxiliary verb, third verb conjugation second person es, t apostrophe es, then the participle passive lave accent. Then the third person il, subject pronoun reflexive pronoun conjugation s apostrophe, se becomes s apostrophe, here t becomes t apostrophe because of the verbal starting of the verb. Se becomes s apostrophe. Now the third person ether verb conjugation est, then the participle passive lave accent. In the first three persons participle passive is not changed because the subject is singular. We don't know the subject is masculine or femina, so no change. Now the third person feminine subject elle, pronoun conjugation s apostrophe, then auxiliary verb est, participle passive lave accent. You have to add one more e for the agreement of the past participle with the subject. You have already seen in the first lesson agreement. What is the agreement? If the auxiliary verb is ether, past participle should agree with the subject. Here the auxiliary verb is ether because it is a pronominal verb. So past participle lave accent will agree with the subject. Subject is femina singular, so add one e. Then the first person plural nu. What is the pronoun conjugation? Reflexive pronoun conjugation, again one more no. Then comes the auxiliary verb, ether verb conjugation for no, sommes. Now the participle passive lave accent. Now the agreement you have to add yes because the subject is plural no, we, so add one yes to the participle passive. Then the who conjugation, the second person plural. What is the reflexive verb conjugation? Conjugation for the who, again another who. Now the auxiliary verb, ether verb et es. Then the participle passive, write the participle passive, add one yes because the subject is plural. Third person plural ils, masculine plural they. So pronominal verb conjugation sc, auxiliary verb ether verb last person conjugation sont, lave accent one s because the subject is plural. Then comes the last person feminine plural they, pronominal verb reflexive verb sc becomes sc, auxiliary verb sont, participle passive lave accent, add one more e and s because the subject is feminine plural. Because of the agreement, adding one more e, one more s. This is the way to do the pronominal verb conjugation in past tense.